Hello everyone. Did you know how Jakarta came to be known as one of the largest trading cities in Southeast Asia? Well, it all starts here. Kota Tua is one of the few places in Indonesia where you can find the remnants of old Dutch colonial era. With a total area of 1.3 km square, this region has more than 250 old European style buildings. This is because these buildings were built in the Dutch colonial period. That is why the design of the buildings is not like any other local style buildings. These buildings has become the main attraction of Kota Tua for not only local tourists but also international tourists. And as you can see, many people like to take a photo session because of the aesthetic buildings. And right now, Kota Tua becomes one of the best Instagrammable spots in Jakarta. Kota Tua offers several paid entertainments such as museums, bars and restaurants, and you can even rent a bicycle and go cycling around this amazing area with your loved ones. If you are an accessories maniac, this place is heaven. You can find a lot of cheap and affordable accessories such as necklaces, bracelets, belts, and so on.
Originally built in the 10th century as a fishing village in the Sunda Kingdom, this village was named Sunda Kelapa. It later grew into a large trading hub that trades in peppers and spices, with many traders coming from China, India, and Arabia. In the 16th century, Sunda Kelapa was conquered by the Sultanate of Demak and was renamed Jakarta, which means Victory City. The conqueror, Fatahillah, later became known as an Indonesian war hero. However, in the 18th century, it was also conquered again and razed to the ground by the Dutch, which was later called as Batavia, after the Betawi people of the local area. During the Dutch colonial period, Batavia grew and became the capital of the Dutch East Indies. Jakarta, or Batavia as it's known, has this town square, which used to be the center of all commerce and all trading sites in Jakarta and also Indonesia, which used to be the Dutch East Indies. Behind me is the Fatahillah Museum, which used to be Batavia City Hall. It is where the Governor General of the Dutch East Indies used to do his daily affairs and manage the Dutch East Indies from that very hall.
Okay, alright everyone. Now we are here in one of the important building in history of Indonesia. It is the Museum Bank Indonesia, our central museum since the colonial age. And if you see here, the architecture is still nice and good with the shape of the neo-colonial age. Before this place is being built as a museum, it has served many purposes, such as church, hospital, and bank itself. The first function of this place is becoming a Protestant church in 1625. But 3 years later, because of the war between Sultan Agung from Mataram and VOC, this place has been razed. But don't worry, a century later, this place is being used again as a hospital, but unfortunately in 1780 it has been moved to another place. So this place has been abandoned since then. In 1828, the Java's Bank has been formed by Netherlands in this golden, and since then it bought this place, and since then it become our important historical place. It is the central bank for, in Bahasa we call it Hindia Belanda, and it still operated even after the Indonesia independence itself. In 1953, this place has been named as Bank Indonesia, and since then it's become our nation central bank for us. It's until 9 years later the new building has been complete, so this old building been left out. But no problem. In 2006, the government of Indonesia has restored the place as a museum, and it's officially opened in 2009 by President of Indonesia Susilo Bambang Yudhoyono. Since then, the museum serves its purpose to give information about the Bank Indonesia role in our nation history and Bank Indonesia policy about monetary to maintain our monetary in Indonesia over time until now.
Now we arrive in Museum Mandiri. It's an economic museum located in the old banking district of Jakarta Old Town City, and the Museum Mandiri is established by Bank Mandiri in October 2, 1998. Next, we can see the collection of the Museum Mandiri. In the Museum Mandiri, we can see the cashier and any machine ticks on there. And the Museum Mandiri is at the film of Comet 8.
Right now we're at Stasiun Jakarta Kota. People call it Bell Station. The first station was built at 1887. It was built by a Dutch private railway company called Bustewitz, Oosterburg and Maastricht, or called Bos. So they name it Batavia Zuid or Batavia South. Jakarta Kota Station was served as a main station along with Gambir, Jatinegara, and Pasar Senen Station. Jakarta Kota serve 3 from the 6 Jabodetabek train lines. So, and which operational in Jakarta metropolitan area. So right here is the place where you can buy the train tickets. As you can see behind, there's the machine who serve people who want to buy the tickets, train ticket. So there's the machine. You can just choose your destination and the train ticket will pop up and you can tap it on the gate and you can just go in. But you can also use e-money or something like that. You don't have to always buy the train tickets from here if you have e-money. So the design of this station is designed by a Dutch architect called Frans Johan Laurens Wiesels. And as you can see, there's a lot of fast food restaurant here. So you can, after exhausted from your journey at trains, you can always eat. Like you can see there's Awe, KFC, Starbucks, Jeko, BMJM, and there's also a lot of street snacks. So you can pick whatever you want to eat after the journey from your train.
Okay, we already show you many places here in Jakarta Old Town, and I bet that you may be exhausted, right? But fear not, there is one place. There's an old ice cream store here in Jakarta Old Town that will make your spirit back, and that is this one, the Ragusa ice cream. Ragusa ice cream is established by 2 Italian men, the name Luigi Ragusa and Vincenzo Ragusa. These 2 Italian men came to Batavia in 1930s, and they came to study tailor at first time, but they met an European girl, an European woman that have a cow's farm, and then there's an idea why they didn't make something from that cow's milk, and that is an ice cream. They got help with their Italian friend named Yo Xiang, and then in 1932 the first Ragusa ice cream is finally opened, and it was popular until now. But in 1970 the Ragusa family went back to Italia. But so what happened with their store? In 1970, the Ragusa store hand over to Yo Xiang son named Buntoro Kurniawan and with his wife Desias Mawarni. This couple made the Ragusa ice cream keep the popularity until now. So without further ado, let's check the ice cream and let's taste the ice cream. In front of me is Ragusa most popular ice cream, and that's called the spaghetti ice cream. Well, it's my first time, so let's try this out. It's good, very good. Well, it's good. Yeah. Mas, you should try, Mas. How about you? Why not? Okay. How about Gerry? No, you don't. Okay then. Well,
I think that's all for our English project. So I hope you learn something from our video, and thank you for watching. Have a nice day.